Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Alexander Jarvis from alexanderjarvis.com, and we're dealing with the marketplace financial model. Now, this is the 8th video in this series, and we're going to be dealing with the automations of sales staff. If you haven't watched the existing videos, please do it already, as I keep saying. So the thing you want to know about this is going to go on the control sheet. If you want to turn it on or you turn it off, you're going to change the switch here. You turn it off, you're not going to have a sales automation. If you want it on and you're wondering why it's not working, you can make sure that it's turned on, sorry. So now we're going to go to the last one, this green section here, which is sales staff, which is on the supply side, not the demand side. I considered building it for both sides, but I actually couldn't think of any business model which has sales staff on the demand side. It's principally going to be on the supply side. That's why it's here for this. Now, there's not that many assumptions for this, but it might take a little bit of time for you to get your head around it. Coming out at a high level, this is an automation sheet, which is going to support the staff sheet, which make sure you've actually watched first. So let's look for S&M, which is here. Your salespeople, which you can see here, it's not the supply, the channel sales, it's dealt in a different sheet, will be coming into here, okay? And then you put in the salaries here, including the bonus, which is going to be on target earnings, okay? So you want to assume that the people you hire are going to hit their targets and they're going to get the full bonus payout. And there are some assumptions built in that they won't be fully productive over time, which is fine, but over time they will be fully productive, because you can't make assumptions that they're not going to be, at least for modeling purposes. Maybe there'll be churn, but hopefully they'll be factored in potentially into a salary cost. I haven't gone to that level of extraction. To reiterate, which I have covered in the staff sheet before, if you have existing salespeople, they don't have random names, they have a defined name, okay? You'll see it in bold. It says, use this exact title. It's also here as a note. You can copy and you can paste it there. So we'll see right now that the model knows that there is existing capacity, one person. So current account execs equals 1 here. And so if we go back into the staff sheet and we want to add more people, we want 3 in theory. In the staff sheet, we can see the existing capacity of 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9, which is the existing sales capacity. That's important to bear in mind in case it's important for what it is you're doing. Now we can get rid of these people and we can come back to the sales staff. So links are coming in here, which is basically just we have new suppliers because we need salespeople for every supplier. We'll make an assumption in another sheet of what percentage of our suppliers actually need to be sales supported versus automatically onboarding. And that's going to be in one of the conversion sheets. Supply side. So what percentage of people are sales supported? And this is going to impact on the number of people which can be flowing into the sheet. Now, what's going to happen when we hire someone? It's going to take them time to get to full productivity. So full productivity is defined as 100%. So they're half productivity, 70%, 100%. If your people are just awesome or your product's very simple and they're immediately productive, you just set this to 100. So everything's 100 here. I presume it's not going to take more than 5 months. You can increase it if you want. Assuming 1%. If you say they really suck, it's 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, and then we get to 100. It's going to take 5 months to get a full productivity. So what does full productivity mean? It means that you're starting to improve sales per person per month based on the number of suppliers that they need to onboard will eventually get to there. If you make this a bigger number, that means that your productivity will be, if they require to get 100 suppliers per month at full productivity for their on-target earnings, it means in the first month they'll only be able to deal with 20, and then 40, then 60, then 80, and then they'll be able to deal with that full 100 suppliers on board and sold every single month. You're also able to increase this over time because maybe you're introducing new systems and processes or your brand gets bigger, whatever reason you want. This is another way of optimizing if you want, but it's just really tweaking at that point. And really, if you're going to fill in these assumptions, you want to have a logic of why you're doing it. Otherwise, I would probably just delete it and get rid of it and leave everything at your targeted productivity. Model knows from new suppliers how many people we need to close. And this current model is not very many suppliers. It's relatively low. I don't know what business model that applies to, but I just haven't forecasted many people in here, okay? So there's not loads to sign on. I mean, if you're typically not hiring that many new suppliers, then your productivity per month is probably going to be a lot less because it's more of maybe an enterprise kind of sale. I don't know. Obviously, if you're dealing with a lot of suppliers, there's only so many that people can possibly do, and it could be something in the region of 8 to 10 per day. It's something I've actually done with my sales teams in the past. There's only so much time it takes, dialing people, trying to get on the calls, dealing with all the BS that goes on. So there's a limit to how many people can actually do. For whatever reason, I've got it in here for 100, and it's just because I'm going to show that we're not hiring many people. So sales staff, the existing guys that we have right now are able to deal with it. But let's say we decrease this to say 1, we'll suddenly see that we need a hell of a lot of account executives. And that's what we're focusing on, is account execs here. What I've built in is a way of building out a more rounded team, which is sales directors, sales development representatives, and technical assistants. You may or may not have any or all of the above. If you're doing more of a technical sell, you'll have technical assistants. Maybe if you're doing more complex things, you'll have SDRs. If you need more management layer, you'll have sales directors who are a level down below your head of sales. And so in order to be able to set that out, you're going to set what a ratio is. So for here, right, for sales manager, for every manager, you need for say 7. So say for 5 people, which is, see, it says 5. For every account executive, we need to hire a sales manager. And then for every number of, and again, there's notes here, okay? For a number of account execs, we need to have a sales director. And then for a number of account execs, we need supporting sales development representatives, or we need technical assistants per account execs. And if you have these, great, use them. If you don't, you can set them to 0 and you don't need to have them anymore. And these will all automatically filter into the staff sheet here, and then multiply them by the salaries, which is here. If you can increase the salaries, whatever, you can do that, and it will automatically calculate what the need is. We see this is hashed out because there's a lot of people. So there's a lot of complicated calculations, which will probably take me like an hour to explain in detail. If you understand this stuff, you should be able to kind of get in here. But I'm making lots of deductions. I've thought about all the interactions and things around here. But we'll basically be able to calculate what our need is. With relatively few assumptions, you can do some quite powerful things. And of course, to be able to calculate all this fun, there are a bunch of cohort calculations, which looks more impressive when you go towards the end, to see what's actually needed, okay? But ultimately, just a couple of assumptions you put in, and you can forecast and automate what the sales staff requirement is. And so if you're going to suddenly increase the number of suppliers, well then, depending on what the productivity per salesperson will be, you will either need more or less, right? More, typically, if you're increasing, right? There you go. You can build out and scale automatically a whole sales and management team for this. So that's the end of this video. The next one that we'll be doing the revenue sheets. So get on that the next video, or get on with understanding this one right now. See you guys. Bye.